Hi friends, welcome back to Rustic and Lace DIY. For those of you who are returning, thank you so very much. We are so glad you're here. And if you're new here, welcome. My name is Brenda and this is my sweet Oliver. And we are so glad you're here as well. So with all that being said, let's get to crafting.
Okay, DIY number one. So I'm going to take this home sign from Dollar Tree. I'm going to take my Waverly Antique Wax. I'm going to brush it all over the front of it and the back of it. And then I'm going to wipe off the excess with my paper towel. Although I do it in sections, I don't do all of it at once because then it will be super dark. But I'm just going to wipe off all the excess with my paper towel here and then finish with the rest. When I did the back, I only really did the sides of it because I knew that would be the part that would be showing. So then I took my tacky glue and it was not wanting to come out of the spout. So I just took a little brush here and I'm just going to, and this is an old brush, I am going to brush that tacky glue all along the areas that I'm going to place some fabric that I got from Dollar Tree. Now, this is fabric I've had in my stash for a while, but if you want to recreate this, of course, you could use whatever fabric you have on hand that you enjoy. This is just gives you some inspiration, and I always say make it your own. So after I go through and continue adding my glue, and my fabric, which should end any moment now, um, then we'll move on to the next step. But I'm just going to show you this last little piece here. And when I brushed with my hands, I was trying to brush it so that it was tight and not wrinkly. Then I took some of that glue. I just went over it with my finger over the edges to kind of keep it from fraying so much. Then I took some half beads from Amazon, and that little wreath came from a beaded wreath came from Hobby Lobby last year. It was like 75% off after Christmas, and I got it. It was they were ornaments, and I'm going to paint all of them with my white chalk paint by Waverly. Once they were dry, I took this was it gilding wax from Dixie Belle, and it's black, and I'm taking a little finger dauber there and I'm just going over it, just doing a little bit of distressing because you cannot have um farmhouse without distressing, right? And I'm gonna do the beads, the beaded wreath here as well, just kind of doing some light distressing with that wax. Then I took the half beads here in my Type Bond Quick and Thick multi-surface glue, and I'm going to glue all of these little half beads in place. The glue that was excess there, I did pick off with my little picking tool from Cricut. Anyways, I was wanting to figure out how to put glue on my wreath without the beads moving. So I took my painter's tape, just like you saw, laid it on the back so that it would hold the beads in place. And then I went with my Type Bond glue along this part of it, which is actually the back of the wreath. I'm going to lay it down. I didn't care if it was exactly where I wanted it because I knew I could kind of slide it into place, but I'm just really carefully trying to hold it so that those beads don't spin and pull off that tape. And once I did that, then I just moved it down where I wanted it placed and then just kind of picked up any excess glue that was there. Once that was set, I took some pieces from boxwood greenery that I have in my stash. It comes from Walmart. It's my favorite boxwood. I love it. And then I added just a shoestring bow to the middle of those there. And then I'm going to make a couple of holes on the top so that I can hang this. And if you wanted to cover up that back with some shipping paper or something like that, you could always do that, or glue this onto another piece of board in the back. But I felt like it looked just fine in the back. And then I just added my twine hanger here. And that's all there is for this one. It's super easy. It's farmhouse. I really love it. I hope you do too. You'll have to let me know in the comment box below.
Okay, guys, how's it going with you guys? We are just having a blast over here, just crafting away and seeing what kind of goodies we can come up with. I don't know, a lot of you might not know this, but Kathy Jo and I made a pact that we will not buy any crafting supplies. We didn't really say how long. I think we're kind of shooting for the year. I say that cautiously because that's a long time to not buy craft supplies. But believe it, if you saw both of our rooms, well, most of you did, you would know we probably don't need to, other than paint or glue, that kind of stuff that we run out of. But yeah, so I'm excited to see what kind of stuff I really have in my stash that I can use instead of buying new stuff. So and believe me, there are totes that I open and I'm like, oh, I forgot I even had that. I've had this here for like 3 years and I've never used it. Some of that stuff I'm just kind of tossing. Some of it I'm putting in mystery box. Well, not mystery boxes, but giveaway boxes for when I reach my 25,000 subscriber mark. And yeah, some of it we'll definitely use. But anyways, we are just having a blast over here, and I hope you guys are having a great start to the new year. And I always like to stop and thank you all so much. I really do appreciate all of you guys that are commenting all the time and watching, and you guys just make me happy. You bless my life by being here, and I just thank you so much. And then if you are new here and if you enjoy home decor on a budget, and you enjoyed today's video, I would really invite you to hit that red subscribe button, become part of our YouTube family, and let me know in the comment box that you're new here. I love to get to know you guys. And with all of that, I guess it's time to continue on with the video. So let's continue on with the video.
Okay, DIY number 2. So I'm going to take this wood house from Dollar Tree and one of their wood crates. I'm going to paint the front of that house with my plaster. And then I'm going to paint the sides and the back in that crate with those little dowel caps from, I think, Hobby Lobby, with my sandstone. Then once it was all dry, I'm taking my Mod Podge. I'm brushing it all along the front of my house here. And once I have it all brushed on, making sure that I have plenty of Mod Podge along the edges as well as in the middle, I'm going to take this napkin. I let it dry, so it has dried. And I'm taking this napkin. I've had this in my stash for a couple of years, you guys. I got it from decoupagenapkin.com. Most of you who've been here for a while know I just love that place because they have beautiful napkins and you can buy them singly. You don't have to buy a whole package of them. And I just love them. So they do have 2 plies behind the napkin. So I pulled off those 2 plies here. I'm laying this down, making sure that the top part of that house is covered. And then I'm going to put some parchment paper over that napkin to protect the napkin. And then I'm going to use my heat press to reactivate that Mod Podge so that the napkin sticks to the house. Now, if you don't have a mini heat press like this, you can use an iron without steam. So once I was done with that, I just went over this napkin very gently with some more Mod Podge to make sure that it gives that protective coating over it. But you don't want to go over your same area too many times because you can cause that napkin to rip. It didn't rip on me, but I've had it happen before. So once that was all dry, I took my finger sander here and I'm just going to sand off all that excess paper or napkin, not paper towel. And I was like, how am I going to get in between here? And then I realized, wait, the chimney is not supposed to be covered. So I'll show you. I think I show you what I did here. So once I got that all done, I just took my little finger knife, my finger blade there, and just kind of cut away at it and pulled it off. Then I took 3 tumbling tower blocks. I'm going to glue them end to end just like you see. And then I'm going to paint them with that sandstone. I also took this little skewer and I'm going to paint that with sandstone as well. And then I set them aside to dry. I also took a little wood plaque that comes from Hobby Lobby and painted it with the sandstone. And then I created this saying with my Cricut on stencil vinyl. I added it to my little plaque, and then I'm taking a little stencil brush with my Waverly chalk paint in the color ink, which is black, and I'm just pouncing it all around my words here. And it says, "Welcome to the hen house." And I kept looking at this napkin. I've been wanting to use it, like I said, for a couple of years. And I kept thinking, what can I do to it? And then that saying just came to mind, "Welcome to the hen house." And I thought, oh, that would be perfect. Put it on a house. And anyways, so that was my thought here. And then I'm just going to pull off that stencil vinyl. I didn't want to pull off too much of it because I didn't want to get the wet paint all over my sign. So I dried it with my heat gun real quick. And then I removed all those little pieces with my little Cricut tool here. And yeah, that's how you do it. I just love this. And again, if you don't have a Cricut, you could do this with stickers. I was going to do it with stickers, but I didn't have enough. So I'm going to have to buy, oh no, I can't buy some. I'm going to have to figure it out, but you can buy stickers to use on this. So then I just took that finger dauber and I'm taking some of the black paint there and I'm just going to go around and distress the edge of it. And then I'm just lightly going to distress around the words, just like you see right there. And then I took this crate that was dry and I'm going to do some distressing on this as well, because farmhouse means to me, it means rustic. I like rustic farmhouse, and it means distressing. So I have to distress. If you don't like distressing, you can leave this part out and just make it your own if you want to recreate this. And again, if you wanted to recreate this, you could use any kind of napkin that you might have. You don't have to use exactly what I use. Just use what you have on hand. So my tumbling tower blocks was a little too long for this crate. So I'm just taking my cutter here, my miter shears, and I showed you how to unlock it. I had someone asking about it one day and I thought maybe I should show that. And there's just that little thing there. You pull it down to unlock it and push it back up to lock it closed. Once I was done cutting that and everything, I'm going to use my Titebond Quick and Thick multi-surface glue again, as well as some hot glue. Again, the Titebond glue is for a permanent hold and the hot glue is for immediate hold. And I'm just going to glue this to the back, just making sure the edges are even of my crate. And then I'm going to take some more of my Titebond glue and hot glue and I'm going to glue my house to the crate and the tumbling tower block. So it's just kind of acting like a little shelf for my little house. Then I took some floral foam. I'm going to put it inside my box here and I'm going to add some of that Titebond glue to the back of my little plaque. I'm going to glue my little dowel, what is that, skewer? I don't know what it is. And then I just took my hot glue and ran along the sides of my dowel just to kind of give it some more strength. While that was drying, I took some of my favorite boxwood greenery from Walmart, and I'm just going to fill up my crate with some of this greenery just to fill it up. Again, this would be really fun with flowers or even little eggs. I didn't want to go digging for my little eggs, but I'm just going to, I cut off that dowel and just stuck my little sign in there, and then I added these little dowel caps for the feet on the bottom, and then I thought something needs to be on the front, and so I found these little, I think I got these from, I don't know if it's Amazon or Temu. I've had them for a while, these little handles. I'm using super glue here since that's metal. I'm going to put it on there, and since I was in a hurry and didn't have time to wait for it to dry, I'm using this accelerator. I do have that in my Amazon store. It's great. You just spray it on there in 7 seconds. It's done. And there it is. I just love this little planter. I just think it is so cute. You have to let me know what you think about it as well. Okay, it is a time for a celebration of your recreations, but I have nothing to share with you today. So if you have a creation or recreation that you would like me to showcase, you can send pictures to my email address that's listed there, or send them to me through Instagram or Facebook Messenger. Okay, DIY number 3. So this is January's Chalk Couture Couture Club transfer. Oh my gosh, I can't talk. Anyways, and it comes with that little plaque that I showed you. It comes with some chalk paste in the color shimmer gold and black velvet. And then it also comes with this ribbon. I'm not going to use the ribbon, but I am going to take a 12 by 12 wood piece. I got this from Amazon. You can get the ones from Dollar Tree. I'm going to paint it with my antique wax. And then that plaque from Chalk Couture, I was going to paint it with my ink, but it's such a slick surface. It wasn't wanting to stick. So I ended up washing it all off and leaving it white. Then I took my transfer here, which is a stencil. If you're not familiar with Chalk Couture, it is a silk screen, self-adhesive stencil. So we fuzz it the first time we use it. So that way it doesn't stick so much that it pulls up your paint or your paste. So I laid it down onto my sign. I'm covering up the bottom words because I'm going to use some of the other words that was in there. And then I'm going to go over it with my black chalk paste. Now, if you have seen my Chalk Couture stuff before and thought about it would be nice to try it out, I usually recommend trying the Club Couture because it is $21.99 a month. And you get, like I said, an exclusive transfer every month with the coordinating stuff that goes with that for each month. Now, if you do enroll to the Club Couture, you do have to stay enrolled for at least 3 months before you can cancel. But I think it's a great way to get started to see if it's something that you like and want to do more of. We also have members perk, which you can also, I think it's also $20 a month, $21 a month, something like that. And you can get 30% off of all your purchases. So there's a couple things there that you could try. And I have a link to Chalk Couture in my description box. I am a designer. And if you want to check it out, you can just check out on that link and you can find out all that information, or you can email me and I'd be happy to give you the information as well. As you can see, I got some there on the bottom and I just used a baby wipe to wipe it right off. And then I went ahead with my Titebond glue again, and I'm going all along the middle of my plaque in the back. And then I'm going to use my hot glue again for the immediate hold, and the Titebond again is for the permanent hold. And I'm going to add this to the front of my wood sign. Now, you do usually want to give it like 24, 48 hours for that chalk to dry. If you want it to be permanent, you can spray it with a protective spray. You can find that by spray paint. Or you can even try Mod Podge. Sometimes when I've tried Mod Podge, it's smeared, so I always be careful with the Mod Podge. Then I am going to take a bow and make a bow out of this ribbon. I've had it forever. I don't know where I got it from. Probably Hobby Lobby. I just do the awareness ribbon and scrunch it up in the middle, tie it tight with some string, and then I'm going to dovetail the ends by folding them in half and cutting at an angle. After that, I took some more of my boxwood greenery. I'm going to use my hot glue here and glue it right on the bottom of my little plaque sign here. And then I'm going to hot glue my bow right in the middle of my greenery, just like you see. And then I decided I should have done this beforehand, but it was after I did my bow, I decided I wanted to do this. I'm going to use this braided jute cord that I love to get from Amazon. It is also in my Amazon store, which there's a link for that as well in my description box. But I'm going to glue that with my hot glue all the way around my sign. And then I'm going to use the same ribbon or jute twine, jute cord, whatever you want to call it, to make a hanger. And I just thread it through. I put tape on the ends, thread it through the holes, tie knots on the ends. And there it is. I love this. It looks so farmhouse and I just love it. I hope you do too. You have to let me know in the comment box below. Okay, DIY number 4. Oh, we're getting down there, guys. I took some tumbling tower blocks. I think I have 42 there, if I remember right. I'm going to hot glue them end to end, 3 of them end to end, and I made 14 strips, I think. And I'm going to use my Titebond glue and hot glue here. I'm going to glue them on top of each other, on the skinny side of each other. I got a little too much glue there. I had to wipe it all off. But I'm just going to do the same with this one too. And I'm going to do that with all of them. So I think I end up with 14 strips of 3, if I remember correctly. After that, I'm going to take those and another Dollar Tree. Oh my crate. Oh my goodness. I'm going to paint them all with Waverly chalk paint in the color ink. Now, I did this years and years ago. I made this. This is from the Dollar Tree little, what are those things called? Anyways, you know what they are. I glued them together and added some tumbling tower blocks on the bottom to make them taller. And I'm going to take this crate here and I'm going to use my Titebond glue and hot glue again. And I'm going to glue this to the front part of my little stand. This is kind of a repurposed item because I had it in my living room, family room for several years. And I decided to change things up a little bit this year. So I'm going to lay this here on top of that. And then I'm going to take my strips of 3. I'm going to start gluing these on. And I'm going to glue this right where that seam is, where those 2, they're not plaques. What are they? Oh my gosh, I can't think. Where those 2 were connected. And then this one, you'll see a gap in between. I ended up having to pull it off and put them closer because it wasn't giving me enough room. So luckily I didn't wait very long when I realized that. So once I had that fixed, I am going to continue on and add these. Now, what I'm making is a device holder. My grandkids, I have them put their little tablets and Switch in my room every night, and I get so tired of seeing just piles of them everywhere. And so I decided I needed to find or make something that they could put their devices on at night, so that it looks nice. So that's what I'm making here. Now, you could use it for other things. If you have your own tablet, your own devices, whatever that you want to put things in, you could make it your own. But I took 8 tumbling tower blocks there. I glued them on top of each other and painted them with my ink. And then I'm just pushing it right in. It's tight. It fits really snugly. I didn't feel like it needed glue, so I just stuck it right in there. And then now they have a place for each of them have a place for their little headsets. And then I thought, well, we got to dress it up a little bit. It's going to be in my room, right? And so I took some burlap ribbon that I think Kathy Joe sent me this, and I'm just going to hot glue it all the way around the front of my little crate here. And then after that, I am going to take one of those little burlap flowers from Dollar Tree. I found them in my stash. I'm going to hot glue one in the front, and there it is. Super simple, nice little organization. And I am looking forward to having my area nice and neat now. Okay, the final reveal is coming right up. I hope you enjoyed today's farmhouse DIYs. I love farmhouse, and I'm so glad a lot of you responded that you still love it. I love it too. So anyways, we'll probably have another everyday kind of video, everyday decor coming up on Thursday. So stay tuned for that. And yeah, I hope you guys have a wonderful week. And I will see you on the next one. Bye-bye.